नमस्कार, डीडी न्यूज में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मैं हूं ऋतु वर्मा। प्रधानमंत्री अपनी कर्नाटक की 1 दिवसीय यात्रा पर यादगीर जिले के कोडेकल पहुंचे। उन्होंने नारायणपुर लेफ्ट बैंक कैनाल के विस्तारीकरण, पुनर्निर्माण और आधुनिकीकरण परियोजना का भी शुभारंभ किया। 10,000 क्यूसेक क्षमता वाली नहर परियोजना से 4.5 लाख हेक्टेयर कमान क्षेत्र की सिंचाई की जा सकती है। इससे यादगीर के अलावा विजयपुर और कलबुर्गी जिले के तकरीबन 560 गांवों के 3 लाख से अधिक किसानों को लाभ होगा। परियोजना की कुल लागत लगभग 4,700 करोड़ रुपए की है। परियोजना की वजह से नहर के आखिरी सिरे भी संचित हो गए हैं, जहां तक पानी पहुंचना काफी मुश्किल था। प्रधानमंत्री ने इस मौके पर विकसित भारत का संकल्प दोहराया। उन्होंने विपक्षी सरकारों पर वोट बैंक, जाति, मजहब की राजनीति करने के लिए हमले किए और कहा कि इसी वजह से यादगीर जैसे जिले पिछड़े ही रह गए हैं।
उनकी हर तरह से मदद की जाए।
ಅವರ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಶೀಲ ನಾಯಕತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ। ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಕೃಷಿ ಸಿಂಚಾಯಿ ಯೋಜನೆಯಡಿ मोर क्रॉप पर ड्रॉप मूल मंत्रदೊಂದಿಗೆ
मेहनत करना तो दूर की बात रही, जब सड़क, बिजली और पानी जैसे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर निवेश करने का समय था, तब उस समय जो दल सरकारों में थे, उन दलों ने वोट बैंक की राजनीति को बढ़ावा दिया। इस जाति, उस मत मजहब का वोट पक्का वोट कैसे बन जाए, हर योजना, हर कार्यक्रम को इसी दायरे में बांध करके रखा। साथियों, हमारी सरकार की प्राथमिकता वोट बैंक नहीं है, हमारी प्राथमिकता है विकास, विकास और विकास।
और आइए सीधे रुख करते हैं विदेश मंत्रालय की गुरुवार को होने वाली रेगुलर प्रेस ब्रीफिंग में।
Sir, time's down. Sir, you may be aware that BBC has recently broadcast a documentary, a longish documentary on the Gujarat riots, which also says that Narendra Modi was the perpetrator of ethnic cleansing. Now, this is based on a secret document that apparently has come from, just to explain to you, has come from the Foreign Office of 2002. Now, what is the Indian government's reaction to it? The British Prime Minister has spoken. But what has the Indian government said or done about it?
Okay, fair enough. Sheldon, 1 second. No, same question. Yours, same question. No, something else. Go ahead. Yeah, microphone.
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. Nepal's Prime Minister has said that he'd like to come to India first amongst his foreign trips, and there is also
no. So he has desired to come to India.
Desired to come to India. He said it in a group of editors meeting in Kathmandu recently. Okay. Also, there's talk of the foreign secretary going to Sri Lanka to extend an invite to him personally. Is that on the
No,
cards?
I'm very confused. You talk about Nepal Prime Minister or Sri Lanka Prime Minister?
No, Nepal
President.
Prime Minister. Right, Prachanda. Nepal Prime Minister. Did I say Sri Lanka?
No, but I didn't say the question for that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I meant the Nepal Prime
The
Minister.
Minister has expressed his desire to visit India, which is the part which is I need to say anything.
Is the Foreign Secretary also likely to go to Nepal to extend a
You sure that's your question? Because you know the answer is going to be.
And also any update on the 8 naval officers in
I'll come back to the Nepal one. The second question is too far apart. No, I saw some hand at the first. No, I know there's a lot of interest. There's somebody else whose hand I saw right up front. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, I'm Abhishek Jha from CNN News team. My question is regarding Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He has said that West and NATO are attempting to make overtures to India to create additional problems in its relationship with China. He has also said that so-called Indo-Pacific region, the West is out to create bloc architecture against Russia and China. Your comment on that?
Yes, I don't know what to comment. He said it. You didn't really put anything vis-a-vis me. Okay, and I'll take one more question. Okay, I'll take another question.
सर विजयलक्ष्मी हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। सर थोड़े दिन पहले पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री का एक इंटरव्यू आया जिसमें उन्होंने भारत कहा कि पाकिस्तान अपने सबक सीख चुका है और भारत के प्रधानमंत्री से कहा कि आइए बैठकर बातचीत करते हैं। कश्मीर और धारा 370 की भी उन्होंने बात की। तो कैसे भारत इसको देखता है? क्या बातचीत की कोई संभावना है?
Okay. Some more question. Take round two. Otherwise, people say too many questions. I forget some of them. Okay, Siddhant, let me start with yours. Look, we are aware of actually recently a couple of temples that have been vandalized actually in Australia. We condemn these these incidents. If I remember correctly, one was both are actually near Melbourne in Victoria. We strongly condemn these such actions. These actions have also been publicly condemned by Australian leaders, community leaders, and I think religious associations there. Our Consulate General in Melbourne has taken up the matter with the local police. We have requested expeditious investigation, action against the perpetrators, and of course measures to prevent such incidents in future. The matter has also been taken up with the Australian government, both in Canberra and in New Delhi, and we are looking forward to the action that we've requested. So that was in response to what you had asked. Srinjoy, your question was, you were giving some examples from the BBC documentary. I presume the one you're talking about was day before, something like that. Do note that this has not been screened in India, so I am only going to comment on the context of what I have heard about the or have my colleagues have seen. Let me just make it very clear. We think this is a propaganda piece designed to push a particular discredited narrative. The bias, a lack of objectivity, and frankly a continuing colonial mindset is blatantly visible. If anything, this film or documentary is a reflection on the agency and individuals that are peddling this narrative again. It makes us wonder whether about the purpose of this exercise and the agenda behind it, and frankly we do not wish to dignify such efforts. Okay, fair enough. देखिए इसमें मैं जैसे कह रहा था कि हमारे मैंने ये इंडिया में ये देख नहीं सकते, रिव्यू नहीं कर सकते इसको, ये BBC 2 में वहीं पे आ रही है, पर हमारी ओर से ये प्रोपेगेंडा पीस है और सिर्फ इसका एक कोई डिस्क्रेडिटेड नैरेटिव जो कह रहा था उसी को बढ़ाने के लिए एक एफर्ट है. इसमें एक बायस जिसे कहते हैं और एक कंटिन्यूइंग कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट है और इसमें बिल्कुल ऑब्जेक्टिविटी नहीं है, स्पष्ट रूप से दिखाई देती है आप अगर उसको देखें. सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूँगा, दिखता है कि इन्होंने जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और इंडिविजुअल्स इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं इस क्लियरली कोई एक इसी नैरेटिव को बढ़ा रहा है और इस नैरेटिव से, इस स्टोरी से उसी का उन्हीं के ऊपर रिफ्लेक्शन है कि किस तरह के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या इंडिविजुअल्स हैं ये. और इससे हमें ये लगता है और ये प्रश्न आता है कि इस एक्सरसाइज का उद्देश्य क्या है और इसके पीछे क्या एजेंडा है. और फ्रैंकली जैसे मैंने कहा, हम इसके ऊपर कोई जवाब ऐसा नहीं देना चाहते ताकि इस प्रोग्राम या डॉक्यूमेंट्री को कोई डिग्निटी मिले, कोई अच्छी तरह इसको रिस्पॉन्स करें हम. Yeshi, your comment, yes, I've heard this before. I think I responded to it, but if not, look, we would be very happy to receive the Prime Minister of Nepal at a suitable, convenient date. I don't know what the modalities exactly under which he said this, but yes, I've also heard that he has expressed a desire to visit India, and I'm sure we would be happy to welcome him when he comes. And it has been practiced that on various occasions, Nepal leaders and as well as some other neighboring country leaders have tried to come to India as their first foreign visit, and I think it's a reflection of the relations, the strong relations between India and Nepal. So if I don't have an update yet, I certainly will not be in a position to speculate whether anybody is going to give a formal invitation or not, but obviously we would welcome his visit. Abhishek, you had referred to a statement recently by Foreign Minister Lavrov of Russia. I wasn't sure how we could comment on it in any which way, in the sense it was a comment, his assessment of the world. Let me just make the overall point that, look, our relations with different countries stand on their own merit. We have good relations with various parts of various countries, various organizations and groups across the world, and we evaluate them, treat them on their own merit. And so I wouldn't like to link it with one group or versus the other. And I'm not sure I would be in a position to fully concur with what you have said, but again, I don't know if that's an actual quote. Okay, fair enough. That's exactly what I mean. The press release was on so my comment is very simple. Our relations with our partners stand on own merit and we deal with them separately. विजय लक्ष्मी जी, आपका प्रश्न था आई थिंक प्रधानमंत्री शहबाज शरीफ वाले कमेंट पे, उन्होंने कोई इंटरव्यू के दौरान ये आप कमेंट कर रहे हैं। देखिए, हमने वो इंटरव्यू मतलब वो कमेंट देखे हैं, हमने ये भी देखा कि उसके बाद प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय ने कुछ उसकी टिप्पणी या क्लैरिफिकेशन दी। हमने कुछ दिनों पहले और कमेंट देखे थे कुछ और पाकिस्तानी लीडर्स के माध्यम से, नेताओं ने कुछ कमेंट की थी। तो इसीलिए मैं श्योर नहीं हूं आप किस कमेंट में मेरा कमेंट चाहते, क्योंकि उन्होंने कुछ कहा, पीएमओ ने, उनके पीएमओ ने कुछ कहा, कुछ उसके बाद पीएमओ ने क्लैरिफिकेशन दे दी है, तो वो कितना जायज, वो कितना करेक्ट है। मैं सिर्फ ये कहना हूं, हमारी जो पोजीशन है मैं उसी को दोहराऊंगा कि हमने कहा है कि हम हमेशा नॉर्मल नेबरली रिलेशंस चाहते हैं पाकिस्तान के साथ, पर एक कंड्यूसिव एटमॉस्फेयर होनी चाहिए जिसमें टेरर या हॉस्टिलिटी या वायलेंस ना हो। तो हमारी पोजीशन वही है। ओके, लेट मी टेक नेक्स्ट राउंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन। होल्ड ऑन प्रणय, आई विल कम बैक टू दैट।
सर, प्रणय उपाध्याय, एबीपी न्यूज से। 13 जनवरी की शाम को भारत म्यांमार सीमा के करीब म्यांमार एयरफोर्स की एक कार्रवाई हुई और उसमें रिपोर्ट्स हैं कि हमारी बॉर्डर के कुछ इलाकों में भी कुछ डैमेज हुआ है। तो उस मामले को लेकर क्या भारत सरकार ने म्यांमार सरकार के साथ कोई बात की है, और क्या फैक्चुअल पोजीशन है, क्या कोई डैमेज हुआ है, नहीं हुआ है?
Welcome to you.
Harinam, Smita Sharma, just to follow up, I'm kind of confused as to how can a documentary be labeled as propaganda if it has not been viewed in India, as you say. And also, a very specific question. I mean, the documentary does show the former Foreign Secretary of UK, then Jack Straw, on record saying that there is this cable that exists, internal report that exists. Does India confirm or deny this report? Is India taking this up? The report on the Gujarat riots of 2002.
Sorry, be specific.
Is
I'm going to
India
come back hard
taking
at
up
you.
this report with UK?
Which report?
The report that Mr. Jack Straw refers to in the documentary.
Okay. Let's be clear.
That there is an internal cable of the UK government.
Fair enough. Yeah, Kalol.
Well, continuing with that, I'm Kalol from the Hindu. The BBC documentary also says that the Gujarat riots actually led to the killing of UK citizens of Indian origin. So did the UK government ever take this up with the Indian government before? The death of UK citizens in the Gujarat riots?
You mean take up as in what? As a legal thing?
Legal thing for the sake of justice or damage, diplomatically,
I'm not sure you're asking the right question. Why would they take up a case diplomatically for a death?
I mean, their citizens, their citizens dying in
Your
a
question
riot.
is a very broad one. I'll try to answer. I'm not fully convinced with your question yourself. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Somebody else had a hand up here.
मैं सर्जना शर्मा सनमार्ग से हूँ। भारत की विदेश नीति वसुदेव कुटुंबकम है और पाकिस्तान में जो आजकल खाने के लिए भी बहुत संकट है, तो भारत उसके आधार पर कोई मदद पहुंचाएगा क्या पाकिस्तान को?
खाने की बात कर रहे हैं या कुछ और? आटा। अच्छा, सॉरी। आटा पे बहुत स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन है, ये मैं कह नहीं सकता। एक और हाथ मैंने पहले देखा था, आपका था। सॉरी, आई विल कम बैक टू यू। या प्लीज गो हेड।
सर, क्या इस्लामिक एमिरेट ऑफ अफगानिस्तान ने अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को दिल्ली में नियुक्त करने के लिए कोई कम्युनिकेशन किया है भारत सरकार से, और अगर हाँ तो इसकी स्थिति क्या है?
फिर से क्वेश्चन बताइए, क्योंकि आपने पहले कुछ कहा था जो मैं सुना नहीं ठीक से।
मैं तालिबान के बारे में कह रहा हूँ कि क्या तालिबान अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को भारत में नियुक्त करना चाहता है? क्या इस बारे में कोई कम्युनिकेशन भारत सरकार के साथ हुआ है?
ओके, I'll take another round. I know you have a few more questions. I'll come back to it. प्रणय, आपका प्रश्न था इंडिया म्यांमार बॉर्डर के बारे में। एक 13 जनवरी की आप कोई रेफरेंस कर रहे थे। 13 जनवरी का तो मुझे मालूम नहीं, मेरे पास जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो था कि 10 जनवरी को वहां पे एक एयर ऑपरेशंस हो रही थी। हमारे 10 और 11 जनवरी को हमारे सीमावर्ती सेक्टर में म्यांमार ने कोई एयर ऑपरेशंस किए थे क्लोज एरिया पे। हमने ये कंफर्म किया था कि कोई हमारी एयर स्पेस की कोई वायलेशन नहीं हुई है, पर 10 जनवरी को मेरे इंफॉर्मेशन के मुताबिक एक बम गिरी थी तियाऊ रिवर बेड पर, जो वहां पे इंडिया म्यांमार बॉर्डर पे है। मेरे पास कहते हैं कि फरक्वान विलेज है, कोई चंपाई डिस्ट्रिक्ट में है। ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हमारे लिए कंसर्न की है और चिंता की बात है, और हमने ये मैटर म्यांमार साइड से लिया है, टेकअप कर लिया है। Smita and Kallol, I'll try to answer both your questions. Look, you can't have it both ways. I am confirming that this, as far as I know, is not available for viewing here. Ideally, the question shouldn't have been asked to me, no? But people are happy to ask me a question which is not to be viewed in India. This is because we have a High Commission, we have information to that video. Okay, so that is not being screened here. I am repeating again. We think it's a propaganda piece. Our assessment is a propaganda piece. Now, how can you say that? I'm saying it. We have seen it and I feel it's a propaganda piece. I don't know what's the perspective. You could say it's not aired here, true. But I'm happily answering questions here. I'm happy to say it's not aired in India and I could say nothing. I have no comment to make. But since you asked, I am responding to it. The separate question you had about the comments by former Foreign Secretary in that, and something about reports that he is referring. Look, he seems to be referring to some internal UK report. How do I have access to that? And it's a 20-year-old report. Why would I just jump on it now? And just because Jack Straw says it, how does it lend it that much legitimacy? I heard words like inquiry and investigation. There's a reason we use the word colonial mindset. We don't use words loosely. What inquiry? There were diplomats here. Investigation. Are they ruling the country? I'm sorry. I do not agree with that characterization, and obviously there is an agenda behind it. UK citizens' death. Look, if there are deaths here in our country, they're followed by our legal procedure. Whether they took it up in 2002, look, I don't have a ready answer. I wasn't around, and I'll have to check whether it was taken up, whether that's a formality of taken up or not, whether legal systems. But as you very well know, there has been a lot of legal process against deaths that have happened during that time. I wouldn't be able to answer whether it was taken up or not without checking the facts on that. संजना जी, आपने प्रश्न किया था आटा भेज रहे या नहीं, घूम फिर के। अच्छा, ब्रॉडर आटा की बात है। ओके, सो देखिए उन्होंने पूछा है क्या, मैंने मतलब ऐसे ही मैं तो आई एम नॉट श्योर कि हमारे पास आया है, और इतना मतलब कोई नेशनल कैलामिटी भी नहीं आई है, मतलब कुछ पर्टिकुलर मेरे पास कोई ऐसा कोई खबर नहीं है। जनरली कह सकते हैं, पर मेरे पास कोई ऐसा कोई खबर नहीं है। योर क्वेश्चन नहीं, किसने पूछा था अभी? इंडियन आपने पूछा था। देखिए, आप जैसे जानते हैं, वी डू नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज, वांटेड टू क्लैरिफाई, आपने कहा था इस्लामिक एमिरेट समथिंग। देखिए, वहाँ पे हमारा एक टेक्निकल टीम है जो सहायता वहाँ देती है, यूनाइटेड असिस्टेंस देती है। मेरे पास कोई डिटेल खबर नहीं है कि इन्होंने ऐसा कोई रिक्वेस्ट किया हो, क्योंकि हमारे वैसे डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशंस है नहीं, तो उनका जो आप कह रहे हैं नियुक्त करना, उनका कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, आई थिंक इसके दायरे के बाहर आता है। हमारे टेक्निकल टीम ही है वहाँ पे, ना हमने कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव इस तरह से डिप्लोमेटिक भेजा है, ना उन्होंने यहाँ पे रखा है। Okay, I'll take one last round of questions. Okay, you had once again. She had her hand up. Well, twice I have ignored. Please.
This is Nivedita from the Sunday Guardian. My question is on the EM's remarks on G20 at the Voice of Global South. He mentioned developing a framework for food, energy, and a green development pact. So, has there been any further progress on this and any further action?
Okay. This is by EM's in his statement. Yeah, I remember that one. Okay, welcome to that. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, this is Mukesh Kaushik from Dainik Bhaskar. Sir, a week after technical talks between India and between Bhutan and China takes place, our Foreign Secretary is visiting Bhutan, and months after survey vessel visits of China visits Sri Lanka, our External Affairs Minister is visiting Colombo. Do you think our diplomatic train for damage control is reaching a little bit late?
Ooh, well, I like your last question. I'll come back to you. Okay, your next is yours. It's a very tough question. Okay, anyway.
Nandima from ABP.
Yeah.
I just want to understand, has there been any conversation between EM Jaishankar with the new Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang? Thank you.
Okay, Sri Lanka related. Go ahead. I'll come to you. So EM with the new foreign minister of China. Okay.
The letter that has been sent from our finance ministry as an IMF assurance for Sri Lanka Is India hopeful that this will really kind of help in the bailout process? If you could shed some more light on that.
Sure.
सर ब्रह्म प्रकाश जी न्यूज़ से मेरा सवाल है क्या विदेश मंत्रालय का जो ईमेल सर्वर है वो हैक किया गया, कुछ हैकर्स ने दावा किया है। जी न्यूज़ की तरफ से 11 दिसंबर को आपके पास वो डिटेल भी भेजा गया था।
मैं तो देखा नहीं।
आपके यहाँ पर आपके लोगों ने देखा है?
कौन है लोग? किसने देखा है?
तो उसमें काफी जो जानकारी है वो हैकर्स।
नहीं, मैं आपको मना नहीं कर रहा हूँ, पर आप कह रहे चिट्ठी भेजिए, आप प्रश्न पूछिए आपका, मैं जितना हो सकता है।
प्रश्न यही है कि क्या जो ईमेल सर्वर है वो हैक किया गया है जैसा कुछ हैकर्स दावा कर रहे हैं और उन्होंने जानकारी।
जी आपका शायद राउंड 2। Oh, you didn't ask. Sorry, you held back your question. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, Avinash Agarwal from the Asai Shinbun. Sir, China has said that its population has come down for the first time.
Okay.
And there are reports that India have already become the largest population country. So how do you see this, sir? I mean, there are some people see that as the largest populated country. You may have certain administrative in diplomacy.
I'm reminded of my exams I took in my youth. Right now. Okay, I'll try to, since you asked. Okay, last question here. No, okay, oh, he has. If you have more questions, I'll take another round, but we are running, yeah. Let me take this, and I have a feeling you have some more questions around. I'll come back to you. Okay, I'll come back to you. Okay, look, Nivedita ji, that statement by EM, yes, it's too early for us to give details, but as you would appreciate, we are now, with the G20 presidency, we will try to put forth new initiatives or ideas that we have. One of the elements, as we said, of holding this Voice of Global South Summit was to elicit suggestions, perspectives, concerns from the developing world. And this was something that from our perspective that came out. We will certainly share with you more details once it's a little more fleshed out and we present it. It will be premature to talk about it. But yes, it shows the indication of points of where we would like to work towards. Mukesh Kaushik, I loved your last line. What train of diplomacy reaching late? I must remember that for future. Okay. No, look, I love the way you see we have a strategic conspiracy theory about. Unfortunately, look, if we had gone before these talks happened, then you would have said, oh, they are already planting it or something. Look, no time is good time or any time is good time. I don't know how to answer it. Let me just put in context on both these issues that you raised. On China and Bhutan, this thing happened in Kunming, that's what you're referring to. Look, these are going on since 1984, right? Something like that, the talks. We have noted this development, but that doesn't mean we should or not go. Our Foreign Secretary is there currently as part of what we had used to call planned talks, but subsequently are now been expanded to call the Development Cooperation Talks. These basically give you a structured idea of what are the issues and projects that both sides will look at and jointly, try to organize, and the Bhutanese will implement. This will be the 4th such meeting. I think the Foreign Secretary has gone. The Foreign Secretary is attending. This is the 4th meeting. I think this is his first. And he will also call on the Bhutanese leadership. The visit is still on, so let me not prejudge what might be discussed. As regards Sri Lanka, again, I'm not linking it to anything. I mean, I would appreciate it if you said it was linked to the announcement regarding maybe financing assurances. But with that ship, it's what? The ship will come, ship will go. I mean, I don't think we should link it to such stuff. He has just, the External Affairs Minister has just landed in Colombo. We will keep you updated. He usually puts out himself directly through tweets. Otherwise, in other mechanisms, we'll let you know what happens. His conversations there are going to be wide-ranging. He's going to meet a large section of the political leadership. He is also going to, look at some projects, etc. But let it happen. Smita, you asked about the element of IMF assurances. Look, this is something we've been saying all through. We would like to be supportive. We have been supportive bilaterally in assistance. There is an important element now of debt, having a sustainable debt framework and a structure for Sri Lanka. The IMF is leading that. As part of that, they wanted financing assurances from other creditors. We have done that. We have formally sent it to the IMF, and I think that information has been made public by the Sri Lankan side. And we are hopeful that this would help Sri Lanka. Not just this, the conversations with the IMF would help, close this deal, if you would like to call it that way, and actually make a change into how the debt is restructured, additional financing comes in, and Sri Lanka is able to move to a path of more sustainable fiscal management. Now, anyway, your question regarding EM, I am not aware of it, to be honest. I hope I'm not caught out wrong and External Affairs Minister, after I leave this meeting, says, oh, I did speak to him. But as far as I know, there has not been an occasion on which she has spoken. But if there is a change, I will apologize and come back and give you the correct picture. ब्रह्म प्रकाश जी, आप हैकिंग की बात कर रहे थे, राइट? हमारे वेबसाइट या ईमेल्स या कुछ ईमेल सर्वर का, आपको कैसे मालूम था? नहीं, आपको पता कैसे लगा? या पता कैसे है? या आप ऐसा आपको ये खबर कहां से? आपने कहा 10 तारीख को कुछ भी? हाँ, बेच रहे थे, वो बेच रहे थे. देखिए, लेट मी जस्ट से कि हमारे मंत्रालय में सिक्योरिटी मैकेनिज्म्स है और साइबर सिक्योरिटी हम बहुत सीरियसली लेते हैं और कोई भी ब्रीच का एलिगेशन हो उसको भी बहुत सीरियसली लेते हैं. और हम एनआईसी के साथ काम करते हैं, वो सर्वर्स वो मेंटेन करते हैं और अदर टेक्निकल एजेंसीज भी हैं, उनके साथ भी हम इसके साथ डिस्कस करते हैं, छानबीन करते हैं, इसका इन्वेस्टिगेशन होता है. सिक्योरिटी इम्प्लीकेशंस के तहत मैं आपको स्पेसिफिक इंसिडेंट में कमेंट नहीं कर पाऊंगा, क्योंकि ना हाँ कहूंगा ना कहूंगा, क्योंकि उसमें इम्प्लीकेशंस है. पर आपको ये आश्वासन देना चाहता हूं कि हम भी ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स ऐसे एलिगेशंस इंसिडेंट्स बहुत सीरियसली लेते हैं. यहां तक सीमित रखना चाहता हूं. I don't know how to answer your question, Avinash ji. I think I will quote what EM said. I think EM said it a few days ago. EM was asked whether this is a statistic or this is more to it. And he put it very nicely, which is that it is a statistic, but it's also an important statistic. It is an important statistic in the thing. If we are the largest country in the world, the largest, most populated, we are 1/6 of humanity. I think the global institutions should reflect that. I think our presence, our voice on institutions of global governance should reflect that. But other than that, I don't think this is a statistic that we are tracking or makes that much difference. I hope that our large population we'll be able to use it to actually support global growth for decades to come. But that's my own personal view. I must also confess. No, I had Akhilesh. Yeah, go ahead.
I am Akhilesh Suman from Sansad TV. It is a follow-up of the Afghanistan question.
Which Afghanistan question?
Madhurendra has asked.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There is an Afghanistan embassy here in Delhi. So what is the status of that embassy, and do we plan to send any envoy to Afghanistan as an ambassador?
Okay, the second one's easier. Okay. No, there's somebody else who had a first question. Who was that? Shailendra. Yeah, I didn't take a question.
सर, शैलेंद्र वांगू न्यूज़ 18 से. अब्दुल रहमान मक्की को लेकर हम आपका कमेंट देख चुके हैं.
ये आप देख रहे थे विदेश मंत्रालय की रेगुलर प्रेस वार्ता है जो गुरुवार को होती है. विदेश मंत्रालय के प्रवक्ता रिंदम बागची मीडिया को संबोधित कर रहे थे, जिसमें उन्होंने बहुत साफ कहा कि विदेश मंत्रालय सोमवार को अटल बिहारी स्मृति व्याख्यान का आयोजन करेगा. व्याख्यान का शीर्षक है वैश्विक अनिश्चितता का भविष्य. साथ ही उन्होंने कुछ और सवालों के जो जवाब दिए, उसमें बीबीसी की डॉक्यूमेंट्री को लेकर जो सवाल पूछा गया, उसमें प्रवक्ता रिंदम बागची ने कहा कि गुजरात दंगों पर बीबीसी की डॉक्यूमेंट्री प्रोपोगेंडा है और औपनिवेशिक मानसिकता से प्रेरित है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मंदिरों पर हुए हमलों की भी भारत ने निंदा की है. साथ ही कई और सवालों के भी जवाब उन्होंने दिए. इस बुलेटिन में बस इतना ही. डी न्यूज पे खबरें जारी रहेंगी. नमस्कार.